We are back at Arima Onsen, the famous hot springs town in Hyogo Prefecture near Kobe, and not too far from Osaka. And so this time we are staying in room 501, spelled Oyama Renge. And this is a ryokan called Takayamaso Hanano. We were not intending to stay here, but this was available at the last minute, where we chose to spend a place away from home for New Year. So this is a 15-room property that was established in 1956, which makes it relatively young by Arima Onsen standards, which is unofficially considered one of the three famous onsen hot springs towns in Japan, along with Kusatsu and Gero Onsen. And so this is a convenient place for a lot of people to get their hot springs fixed. It's a charming hot springs town as well. But just one thing to keep in mind about Arima Onsen, you may already know if you've heard me talk about it, Kinosaki Onsen, which is among the more idyllic towns. And by the way, this is the washitsu, or the Japanese room. I guess if you have multiple groups, they can roll out the futon as for sleeping purposes here as well. But anyway, so in Kinosaki, they also have a rule in town where the in-room baths, if for the rooms that have them, cannot be onsen. That's the rule. And I don't know whether it's because they cannot draw enough the natural onsen from the source, or whether it's to encourage people to pay a visit to the various communal baths that dot the landscape of the Kinosaki Onsen town. But anyway, so this Arima Onsen, I believe, has the similar limitations. You know, it's not like the amount of hot springs dramatically declined over the years, although I don't know that it's increased. There's 7 hot spring sources. But probably what happened is the development of a lot of properties here has caused a strain on the amount of hot springs that could be drawn. And so the vast majority of properties, they draw their hot springs from the source. They actually truck it in from the source, where then they heat it up and then it's recirculated. So if you're looking for a straight from the source, directly piped in and not recirculated, this is not it. Which, you know, you would think it's kind of weird that what is considered one of the 3 famous Japanese hot springs towns would have such restrictions, but that is the case. But you know, if it's not that important to you, fine. But just figured that it's good to have that information. So anyway, so this ryokan, again, established in 1956, originally as a 5-room ryokan. The original building is still functional. And in 1993, they built a new 10-room wing, which this is a part of, resulting in a 15-room establishment. This Oyama Renge, so we're on the 5th floor, the top floor, of which there's only 2 rooms, Sanshuyu and Oyama Renge. And so they're the top 2 rooms on site, and the 2 rooms that actually have onsen, that's both Kinsen and Ginsen, the gold and the silver variety. Not literally, but that's the name of the type of, what they describe as the onsen type. So this ryokan, Takayamaso Hanano, does not have, from what I've seen, the best reader reviews, but I think a lot of it depends on the room type that you choose, as well as the fact that it is not cheap. Although there's equally expensive places in Arima Onsen, similar to this, say Nakanobo-zui, which we stayed in before, is probably the most prominent luxury property in Arima Onsen. But the key thing about this room, it was completely refurbished in January of 2025, so about a year ago. And so it's it's modern, it's stylish, it's nicely appointed, has all the modern technologies, and it has this, this view is incredible, right? You have the onsen with the view. This is where the shower is. So you got a nice little wet room that you can enjoy. You keep the lights off, they're not going to be able to see inside, but you'll be able to see outside. And then you have the sitting area surrounded by glass. You can see the actual main drag, the shopping drag, which is nice. So anyway, so this Oyama Renge is 100 square meters, brand new, smells fresh. The decor is really, really nice. Nice touches abound, but very restrained, minimalistic in a Japanese way. You have, mini bar, coffee, booze. And so, we didn't really know much about this place. It's not like a lot of people have said much about it. So we'll find out. We just wanted to stay somewhere over New Year, and this is what was available. So, and it's not cheap. In fact, it's probably double or triple the typical room rates that they charge. But that's par for the course in among hotels and ryokans in Japan. So this is Arima Onsen town. You can see from up above. The hotel on the side of the mountain, the big one on the right, is an EXIV, which is kind of a membership where you join, and then there's EXIV-owned properties throughout Japan that you can stay for cheap. But if you're aiming for the top, EXIV is not it. And then the one to the left of that is the Arima Grand Hotel. And then you can see here, down here, let me zoom in. The smoke coming out, that's one of the onsen hot spring sources. And then the main street is to the right of that building with the blue trim. Along where so you can see the cars kind of running through there. So that's one of the main streets, but the pedestrian shopping street is to the left, just from the orange building coming towards us. And then you can see there's a little road that comes up like this. A lot of cute shops, cafes, and then there's some nice temples. And so it's an unconventional way to get out of the balcony. I just climbed out of this window, which is allowed. So you can come around where you can see a little bit more of the town, as well as an additional onsen source. That tower. You can see some cafe, but below that, where that guy is walking, that's the main street, the pedestrian shopping street. So there's Arima Onsen is known for Kinsen, the gold bath. Our room has Kinsen and Ginsen, which is a nice treat in our room. They also have a communal bath. So I'm kind of excited. This has exceeded my expectations so far. The service at check-in, as well as the graciousness of the hosts, has been good so far. So I'm cautiously optimistic that we will have a really nice day here. Oh, so the other thing is that one of the other reasons why they don't bring it in straight from the source, I guess the other thing to keep in mind is the hot springs in Arima Onsen, the natural ones that they get from underground. It's actually, it's not cold, but it's not hot enough to actually just without heating it and treating it, it's not bathable. So it's about 20 to 30 degrees Celsius, which is too low for comfortable bathing. So what happens is they process it here, I guess, to remove some things from the onsen, and then they truck it in to or pipe, depending on the ryokan, to each of the properties, upon which the properties themselves heat up the onsen spring. So yeah, it's if you're looking for the most authentic onsen experience, it's not there. But if you want onsen, it's real onsen. It's just not straight from the source, and want to enjoy a nice town and in a convenient location, especially if you're in Osaka or Kobe, then this would not be a bad place. There's some decent properties. I wouldn't call them top of the class in Japan, but it's only 25 minutes from our house, so why not? All right, Takayamaso Hanano. Thanks for enjoying this long video.